Hey guys, 66 here, and today we will be discussing a specific phrase in card text. The phrase I am talking about is unaffected by card effects. Now, to discuss this phrase, we must first learn about some Yu-Gi-Oh history. Looking at the very first instances of the term, unaffected, we see cards like the legendary Fisherman or non-spellcasting area. These cards only protect you from specific effects, under specific conditions. These cards feel nothing like the cards with the term unaffected today. When you think of unaffected by card effects, you think of unkillable boss monsters such as Apocalyptic Towers or Masterpiece, not niche protection effects. Now I will mention that cards such as the early level monsters, and Wild Heart did see some play, but they were by no means unkillable. Nothing really happens with unaffected by card effects boss monsters up to the release of Felgrand in 2013. Looking at this, you can tell that something else caused the appearance of the unaffected phrase. It did not evolve from early cards like Wild Heart, rather, they came from the ever-growing protection in boss monsters. So to understand the appearance of unaffected, we must look at the evolution of boss monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now there are many discussions on boss monsters in YouTube, so I won't go into too much detail, but basically, a boss monster usually refers to a monster that is harder to summon than a normal monster but does more for you. Also, especially with more modern boss monsters, they tend to be hard to remove from the field. The first instance I can think of where there was a quote-unquote unkillable boss monster was Beelze. Beelze couldn't be destroyed by battle or card effects. We now know that you can just chalice it, but oh was it feared when it came out, and remember, Dracosac was one of the best cards in the format. Later Konami came out with cards that couldn't be targeted, such as Leo, and more notably, Dark Destroyer. However, that proved to still not be enough, so Konami came out with Towers. After Towers, they made Magmus, Number 86, Dora, Ultimate Falcon, etc. Masterpiece shook the meta in Zoo format, and the recent Magician format. Looking to the future, the Blackwing Boss Monster, and Sky Striker Eagle Booster all make cards like this. The out is of course Kaiyu's, but it shows that Konami is really pushing the unaffected by card effects tag onto these cards. Eagle Booster has already seen competitive success in the OCG, and likely will, maybe even as early as before this video gets released. The Blackwing Boss Monster also seems quite promising, its effects are just insane. This shows that Konami really is pushing the mechanic and that they intend to continue making such cards. With that in mind, it shows that Kaiyus will continue to be important, even if Masterpiece is out of the game. The phrase unaffected is only increasing in usage over the years, and I won't be surprised if there is another Towers/Masterpiece. Because of this trend, I want to give a few possible counters to cards that are unaffected by card effects, so you guys don't get beat by Blackwings in 2018. The first and most obvious out to these types of cards is Utopia the Lightning. It has been falling out of favor due to lack of space, but it is a perfect out to cards unaffected by card effects that only have around 3000 attack. As long as they don't have battle protection, Lightning gets over it. But what if they do have battle protection? In that case, this is not out, is it? Kaiyus are a perfect out to these indestructible beasts, and they have been out for quite a while now. The problem with Kaiyus is that you have to draw into them, think back to Zoo format. Masterpiece could often gain quite a bit of advantage before you got to your Kiju, and snowball that advantage to win the game. With that said, Yu-Gi-Oh is so reliant on card effects that Kaiyus are probably the best out that we will get. The best we can really do is hope that Lightning and the Kaiyus are sufficient in removing these monsters. Anyways, that's going to be all for today guys, take care y'all, bye.